Something else I want to talk about is betting against your emotions. So, you guys know how much of a Clipper fan I am, and you guys know that I am highly emotionally invested in, the outcome of their season. Right? I want them to win a championship. I really do. Being a Clipper fan for as long as I have, and going through what I've gone through with this team, I think it'd be transformative to say the least. But I also know the history of this team. I know how long I've been a fan, and I know that when it's crunch time, the basketball gods just don't seem to favor us in that way. So, and this is not in any way to endorse gambling. If you're not a gambler, I get all that. And this is the only time I actually gamble. Well, this and when I play the roulette table whenever I'm at a casino, because that's the only game that I mean, even when I play poker, I don't play poker for real money. I just play it for digital. But I always put money against the Clippers, no matter what. Whoever they're playing, I'm always going to put money on who they're playing. Especially if it's a must-win game. If it's a must-win game, I might have, I don't know, at least $100 on that other team. Right? Like, enough to really make me care. Like, how much would it cost me to go to this playoff game? Right? How much would it cost me to go to this must-see mandatory, like, Clipper Laker, or, a Golden State game, a Phoenix game, or something like that, right? And that's pretty much what I would quote-unquote bet. I'm not going to call it invest. I would just say I bet it. But it's interesting because I've been a fan of this team a long time, and I've accepted that they're probably not going to win a championship in my lifetime. And if they don't win a championship in my lifetime, that means they're going to lose a lot of games that I'm going to hope that they win, and they won't. So what am I to do as a super duper fan of this team? Me? I'm going to put money on the other team because I've been disappointed in this team enough to where either I'm going to be happy that they advanced or I'm going to be happy that they put money in my pocket. I'm not going to be disappointed because professional millionaires and professional athletes who are going to get paid either way, if they lose, great. You put money in my pocket. If they win, yeah, take my money. Great. Awesome. Because I'm happy as a fan, as a lifelong fan from like 96, 97. I mean, officially, I could argue that I was a fan of the Clippers even back in like 95, 94. So I always put money on the Clippers or against the Clippers when the Clippers play. And so I'm always going through these forums because I'm a part of a lot of Clipper forums. I'm in the Clipper subreddit and everything. And people are always like super pissed off. And yeah, I'm irritated about the team's poor play and inability to get wins and closing time mistakes and all that type of stuff. Sure, I am irritated by those things. But am I upset? I mean, it really is hard to get upset when if your team loses, you get paid. And for the people who are like, well, if they win every game, then you just give up money every game. Okay, so the maximum amount of money that I'd probably give up is what? Fucking, $8,200. Yes, that would be a shitty season if the Clippers go 82-0. But they're not going to go 82-0. And I don't really bet a lot of money on games that don't mean anything. So if we're playing Orlando, I'm not betting $100. I'm betting $10. I'm betting like $1 on a crazy parlay or something like that. Again, this is not to endorse gambling. I get it. If you're not into that sort of thing, great. But personally, I have been too invested in the Clippers to not have something to gain whether they win or they lose. So this is what I call, and I've called this betting against your emotions. I would caution people or advise people, not caution, but I would advise people to start betting against their emotions. And believe it or not, you can apply this in other parts in your life. You can, I mean, I hate to be a cynic, but you can assume that things aren't going to work out to the way that you would desire them to work out. And you can create contingencies to where if this doesn't happen, I'm just going to do this because ultimately I'm betting on it not working out. To me, it's like an extension of group home kid luck. Like, I feel like it's an extension of recognizing that group home kid luck is a real thing, and you got to account for it. So in this sort of situation, what I'm talking about, betting against your emotions, specifically when you're actually invested emotionally in what you're betting against, I think that is a safe way to have a good time whenever you're watching your team blow a game, 2 games in a row. I watched a Clipper game where we scored 175 points in a basketball game, in not an all-star game, in an actual game, and we lost that game. And I could have been hella pissed about that. But it was a good night for me financially because I always count on the Clippers being the fucking Clippers. I'm a Clipper fan and I know this. So you kind of get to this place where you're like, well, fuck it. I'm going to just start making sure that I hedge my bet against the emotional outcome that I don't want. And it's really the only place I do this in sports-wise. I mean, I don't really, when I'm doing other sports bets, they're not really like serious bets. Like, I don't really care other than the fact that the outcome could be a crazy parlay, 9-leg, 10-leg parlays and shit where I, pick every team or something like that. But again, this is not about that. This is about so that when I watch the Clippers inevitably do what the Clippers are going to do, which is break my heart in the playoffs or at the end of the season when seeding matters, I'm just going to hedge my bet and make sure that, hey, either we win or they pay me. But that losing, and getting pissed off for the night and being mad because your team is shitty and, you can't go on other people's subreddits because they're talking shit about your team. Nah, man, fuck all that.